North Korea's propaganda machine frequently depicts Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un as a near-godlike figure, someone that can do no wrong. It is not uncommon for state media to publish articles portraying him as an omniscient leader whose mere presence can inspire awe and obedience amongst his followers. This idolization is nothing new. His father and predecessor, Kim Jong-il, was treated in the same manner. He organized a 10,000-strong military parade to celebrate his birthday. In 2009, he took a bunch of foreign journalists to the West Coast for a photo opportunity. According to Fujimoto, stores in Pyongyang were filled with goods and people in the streets looked happy. He believed that Kim Jong-un was responsible for the positive changes he observed. Fujimoto had previously served Kim Jong-il for 10 years and had a unique perspective on the differences between the two leaders. He noted that both Kims had similar tastes in food and drink, but that the younger Kim was more accessible and open than his father. In an interview with The Telegraph, Fujimoto recalled an incident where Kim Jong-un visited a noodle restaurant and interacted with ordinary citizens. The young leader was curious about the prices of the noodles and even offered to buy them himself. This down-to-earth demeanor was refreshing and gave North Koreans a sense of hope for a better future under their new leader. But the trip had to be canceled after he pissed in a hotel elevator and refused to leave. This material paints him as an infallible leader who is loved by his people and revered as a near-godlike figure. However, it is important to be cautious when evaluating this information, as it may not accurately reflect the reality of his rule. Despite this, some independent sources have corroborated certain aspects of his personality and leadership style. For example, Kenji Fujimoto's first-hand account of his interactions with Kim Jong-un provides a valuable glimpse into the young leader's character. According to Fujimoto, Kim Jong-un is intelligent, articulate, and charming, but also immature and prone to tantrums. He is a heavy drinker and womanizer who enjoys a luxurious lifestyle. He is also a shrewd politician who understands the importance of public perception and has taken steps to cultivate a positive image of himself among North Koreans. Despite his immaturity and excesses, Jong-un knew that his father would eventually pass the baton to him. While the available evidence is limited, it offers an intriguing portrait of a young leader, grappling with the weight of his legacy and the expectations placed upon him by his people as he continues to navigate the complexities of North Korean politics and foreign policy. The world will be watching closely to see how his personality and leadership style evolve. With this in mind, he began making moves to solidify his position as the supreme leader. This led to friction with his father, who was reluctant to relinquish power. But it seems that the younger Kim was more than willing to seize power by force if necessary. The exact timeline of events surrounding Kim Jong-il's death is not known. However, according to a report by The Guardian towards the end of 2011, Jang Sung, his uncle and mentor, orchestrated a coup to remove 4 loyalists of Kim Jong-il from positions of power and replace them with his own men. In December of that year, Kim Jong-il suffered a heart attack while traveling by train and died shortly thereafter. Upon his death, Jong-un assumed the role of supreme leader. Analysts believe that Jang Sung-thaek played a crucial role in this transition and became the de facto ruler of North Korea. But this didn't last long, as Jong-un wasted no time in purging anyone who posed a threat to his authority. One of his first acts was to have his uncle Jang Sung executed along with his wife and several other high-ranking officials. This purge was part of a wider campaign to eliminate potential rivals and consolidate power. Kim Jong-un executed more than 100 officials in his first year in office. These included his uncle's widow, defense minister, vice marshal, Ri Yong-ho, and several other generals. And before him, Kim Il-sung, the nation's founder, enjoyed similar adulation. However, each of these leaders had their own distinct personalities. On July 6, 2012, he made a significant change in cultural policy by attending a Maranbong band concert. The band had been inactive for over a decade due to his father's preference for traditional North Korean music. The concert was a big hit, and it was the first time a Marambong Band performance had been open to the public since 1995. During the show, Jong introduced his wife, Ri Sol-ru, to the public. This was another unprecedented move, as previous North Korean leaders had kept their spouses out of the spotlight. This performance also marked a shift away from the traditional style of leadership his father had exhibited. Kim Jong-il preferred a more hands-off approach to cultural affairs and rarely made public appearances. In contrast, Kim Jong-un showed a keen interest in promoting certain bands and singers, such as the Marambong Band and the Unhasu Orchestra. These performances reflected a softer, more approachable image of North Korea's leadership. The shows featured modern songs and dances that were more palatable to Western audiences compared to the propaganda typically associated with the regime. This was evident in the lyrics of one song performed by the Marambong Band. The track glorified the leader and encouraged unity among the Korean people. However, it also contained subtle jabs at the United States and Japan, reflecting the regime's continued hostility towards the West. Another song criticized capitalist societies for their superficiality and materialism, urging listeners to remain steadfast in their devotion to the North Korean state. Overall, the concerts were a success, and the public embraced a more approachable style of leadership being ushered in by Kim Jong-un. The charismatic young leader was seen dancing and singing along to the music, appearing more relaxed and informal than his predecessors. So what makes Kim Jong-un so unique? How did he come to be the leader of North Korea? What are his interests and hobbies? What type of leader is he? And how does he compare to his father? To find out how he became North Korea's third supreme leader, keep watching till the end. Kim Jong-un was born on January 8th, or possibly 1984, though there is some debate over his exact date of birth. His father, Kim Jong-il, was the supreme leader of North Korea at the time, and his mother was a singer and dancer from the Marambong Band, one of North Korea's most famous musical ensembles. Like many leaders of authoritarian countries, Jong-un was destined to lead his country from birth. He was groomed for leadership from a very young age, and all efforts were made to ensure he took over the mantle from his father. Jong-un was given a lavish lifestyle and was sent to elite schools in Switzerland, where he learned English, French, and German. He attended a private school called Le Plateau, which was frequented by children of European diplomats and wealthy businessmen. While there, he reportedly made some close friends and developed a taste for Swiss chocolate and cheeseburgers. Jong-un lived in a mansion in Warsaw with 2 bathrooms, a sauna, a bowling alley, a billiard room, and a movie theater. Despite having access to such luxuries, he would often throw tantrums and lash out at servants. After returning to North Korea, he became increasingly isolated, and his life revolved around food, drink, and sex. By his late teens, Jong-un weighed almost 200 kilos. He developed a particular fondness for high-end liquor brands like Remy Martin and Hennessy. He kept a large stable of women to satisfy his sexual urges, and had Father Kim install laser gun ranges and golf simulators at his residence. Jong-un was largely unsupervised, and the young man grew up into a spoiled brat with little respect for authority. This entitled attitude caused friction between him and his father, who ruled the country with an iron fist. For instance, he once berated his father for failing to provide him with a decent car. When Jong-il presented him with a Mercedes-Benz S600 Pullman Guard worth $1 million, he threw a tantrum and demanded a Maybach instead. As Kim Jong-un got older, his immaturity became more apparent. Once he secured his position, Kim Jong-un embarked on a charm offensive to win the hearts and minds of his people. Also in July 2012, Kim Jong-il's personal chef, Kenji Fujimoto, visited North Korea and was surprised by what he saw. It should be noted that much of what we know about Kim Jong-un comes from propaganda produced by the North Korean government. Overall, Kim Jong-un is a complex and enigmatic figure whose personality and leadership style are still being shaped by the challenges he faces both domestically and internationally.